Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And by way of request, I've had quite a few people ask for a hat like this, and it's just a basic Richardson 112 trucker style hat, and it's got a patch on it with the GCI Turf logo kind of burnt in or embroidered. No, it's not really embroidered, maybe painted on, or I don't know how they do that, but whatever that is, it's pretty cool looking. These will be on the website, so you can check those out if you want. Like I said, I had quite a few people ask for this, so we had them made. I'm not a huge fan of people wearing, my stuff all over the place with my logo on it. I get it, I understand the reason, and we're grateful for the support, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of weird in a way. Look, folks wearing hats in Nebraska or wherever with a GCI Turf logo on it. No, we don't buy these by the thousands and get crazy good deals on them. We buy them a few dozen at a time, and we buy them locally. I like spending my money with local companies, and the gentleman that made this is a very, very, very good friend of mine, and he's also a retired law enforcement officer, worked with our local sheriff's department for a long time, and kind of started a little side business doing shirts and hats. And so, just a way we can support local business. That's where we get them. So, the price, it is what it is. But do know that it was made by local business, and I'm a huge supporter of that. So, hey, we're coming down to the wire. The day I'm filming this is November the 12th, 2022. And, my neighbor's yard across the street over here, I've done a lot of work over there in the past couple of years, and mowed it for him last year and all the treatments to the turf. And then this year he took back over the mowing, and I've just been taking care of the fertilizer weed control. My approach to that this year was a little different. It was a extreme minimalist approach, meaning how much can I not do to the grass and still have the grass look pretty good. Remember, I aerated and seeded it not too awful long ago. Put down starter fertilizer with that. Best of my knowledge, I absolutely did the first round of fertilizer pre-emergent in the February time frame. Come back with the second round of pre-emergent fertilizer, maybe middle to end of April, if my memory serves me correct. And I may have done like one application going into the summer. I can't really remember. I'd have to actually go back and look at the videos myself to figure out what I did. But I do know that it was very minimal. I think I did one fungicide there during this past summer, and that was it. And other than that, I haven't done anything to it. My neighbor is extremely good at when it gets hot and dry, he don't mow it. Okay, that's a big deal. I'm telling you, if you got a stressed out plant, talking about the turf, and it's in the summertime, it's stressed out, the number one best thing you can do if you're not going to water it is just don't mow the dang grass. Stay off of it. I know there's folks out there that cannot tolerate unless that joker is tight cut. Well, personally, me, I would rather have green grass that is shaggy and bushy, and even to the point where it might even be a little out of control, versus a clean cut brown yard during the summer. But to each his own. It's your grass, you mow it however you want to mow it. So today is the last fertilizer of the year. So typically I would follow up my starter fertilizer when I seed with a fall fertilization, but life kicks in gear and you just get busy. I just didn't get over and get it done. So I'm a little early for my winterizer, but I'm a little past time for my my late fall application. So we'll just go with it and call it a winterizer. Typically that's going to be one of my heaviest feedings of nitrogen. Nitrogen's green and grow. Obviously the weather dictates how it's going to green and grow. no matter how much food you put on it, okay? Obviously, if the ground was frozen, where it was like ridiculously cold, I would not even consider putting a fertilizer down. But where I live, we stay pretty mild all the way up until January, so the turf can take advantage of what I'm applying today. No, you won't get this insanely crazy green response out of it, simply because the weather's not going to allow that. If you took this exact same mix down and you put it down in April, yeah, you'd get a crazy green color response out of it. The reason I do a winterizer is the plant's getting ready to go into a stressful time. Okay, winter, we can get kind of cold here, and the cold is a stressful time. So I like to give it some nitrogen, good heavy shot of that, and I also like to give it a good heavy shot of potassium. Something else I'll add to the tank is some calcium. So you got the potassium and the calcium in there. It's going to kind of help with the stress, and obviously the nitrogen is going to be a good food source for the plant going into the winter. I made a rookie mistake, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. I didn't dot my I and cross my T. I made a rookie mistake. I should have went over there and walked the yard and looked at the yard in detail before I just come over here and mix something up and sprayed it. Reason I say that is, I got over on the left side of the house, there was quite a bit of broadleaf weeds in there. When I got over and looked, he had some clover over there, had a little bit of hairy bittercress starting to take off, a touch of henbit starting to creep in, and then I think that was some garlic or wild onion or something like that over there in the corner. I feel like it was enough that I could justify mixing the weed control in with my liquid solution. And that way, when I blanket sprayed the entire yard, I could have took care of all the weeds while I was there. But like I said, rookie mistake, I just mixed my fertilizer up, went over and knocked that out. And what I will do is I'll go back and mix me up a couple of gallons of probably going to go with triclopirin 3-way. That's a pretty good weed control for this time of the year. And go over there and just spot spray all of those weeds, and it'll take care of those, get them cleaned up for him. Now I got a new wand for my backpack sprayer, and you guys know I've been showing you the Flow Zone, Cyclone, Typhoon, and Monsoon. And the spray I'm using today is the Typhoon, simply because it was the closest one to me when I went out there to the shed. I could have easily used the Cyclone, done the exact same thing, but I didn't want to have to move a mower to get it out. And when I use my little trim tip, typically it's going to be spraying straight down in line with the wand, and then whatever angle you have your hand set at. Well, the cool thing about this new wand they come out with, and by the way, we got these on the store individually, or you got the option to add it to like a sprayer. If you pick up a sprayer, the little drop down menu, you can click on it and add that, or add the little stirring mixing bit that I use. So all that's on the website if you want to check it out. But what I find interesting about this little wand is it's got a bend to it. I'm gonna not say, it might be around a 45-degree bend to it or something like that. But what it does is when I use my trim nozzle, and that's the one I like using it with, it actually sprays the material a little bit out in front of you. When you're using a fan tip with the standard wand that comes with the Flow Zone, it's spraying a straight line down and out, right? This angles it in such a way that you're not going to get any on you whatsoever, because it's actually spraying it outwards a little bit. And I think I like it a little bit better. So I'll be using that moving forward. So just want to let you know in case you see it. And my spray wand looks bent. I didn't bend it on purpose. They make it like that. I personally like it better because I can get the material out in front of me and I can actually see my spray pattern a little bit better. Another thing I like about it is you're able to hold the nozzle a little bit closer to the ground, but you still retain your width. You don't lose any width. And when I use the trim nozzle over here on that yard and I'm spraying that, by the way, that's 5,500 square feet, 4-gallon backpack sprayer. So if you do the math, that's a little bit under a gallon per 1,000. And that nozzle I'm talking about is a group of nozzles in my Nozzle Buddy that I kind of come up with and put together my favorite nozzles. With the trim nozzle is the air induction fan tip, and typically I'll get 4 to 5 foot wide on it roughly. And when I do that, I would sometimes have to hold the gun up a little bit higher, the spray gun up a little bit higher, to be able to get that 4 to 5 foot pattern. But with this angled new spray wand, I can, relax my arm and hold it down here where it's, just natural, and I still get that 4 to 5 foot coverage. So if you're up north somewhere, or out west, where you've already hit that it's really, really cold mark and the ground's frozen, it's just not, this ain't the right thing for you. Okay, you should have had your fertilizer down weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. I don't know how long you've been cold, but for here in North Carolina, where I'm at in the transition zone, the weather's plenty mild to still apply fertilizer. So that's my winterizer. It's down on the neighbor's yard, and I'll be doing mine to my fescue here probably some point this week, and then I'll probably do the bluegrass back there as well. I'm not completely sure yet. I really haven't made my mind up if I want to do the green kick and the green charge, and that's actually what I use on my neighbor's yard, or if I want to do the protein. The green kick and green charge, they're a 2600 and a 0025, so that's how I kind of get that 2-to-1 ratio or 1-to-1 ratio. And the protein is a 19019, so you get a 1-to-1 ratio nitrogen and potassium. But like I said, I ain't made my mind up yet. Probably just depends on how I feel when I come out here to do it. That's kind of the way I roll, and we'll just go down with one of the two and see what happens. Now, I've had people ask me this: hey Pete, can I do the granular and the liquid? Well, my answer to that's no. I personally wouldn't, because certain times of year I believe turf likes a certain amount of food, and when you double up on that, you ain't doing them but causing trouble. So if it were me, I would say pick one of the two and roll with it. So there you go. Might go over here in a minute, wash my car, and take a little break. As always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.